Good afternoon, I'm Kristel Melendez, and I will be talking about the soil. This topic develops because we receive a conference in which we hear about uh, many things that are involved in this topic. Some of them are like kind of soils there are, uh, what parts conform the soil, like the soil texture, and also what happens with different types of this, like in salty soils, in sandy soils, in clayey soils, and all this. Also, we will be talking about they talk about what happens with water in different types of soil. It was very interesting because they talk about specific points that the soil depends, in order all these facts are in good conditions or these facts can be uh, purged. Now, first of all, we will be talking about the principal thing that it's kind of soils, and there are two parts that they talk very hard. I mean, the principal things that they will be pointing. There were that there exist like sandy soils, principally like sandy, clayey soils, but the principal thing is that there have a lot amount of sand, and by the other side there exist clayey soils. With this, I want to say that there are different characteristics that it's like very apart. One of each other are very apart of them. And I will start with sandy soils. Sandy soils are not much used soils because they don't have like a lot of retention, and all the cultivators, all the farmers need to have like a high level of retention in order to return some water, to return some fertilizer, nutrients, and all this. If this don't happen, it will be affect all our crops because, and also we will have to have a higher economy because we know that if the water like filters more quickly, we will need to apply more water in less time, right? Um, Also, we need to know like how to manage all this because, like as I said before, there exists some methods in order to reduce our level of money they will use in this kind of soils. Um, we have to increase or or fertilizer, but in less quantities, right? That in order to let the plants like absorb all the nutrients that we are applying right now, when at the moment that we are applying, in order to don't permit like to infiltrate and that the plant can't absorb it. Also, with the water, we have to put more times the water, but in less quantities. This in order to have a better use of the water, right? By the other side, we have the clayey soils. The clayey soils are like the opposite of the sandy soils because um, they have more more pores, but the size of these pores are uh, at least right are like more little. But this can be a advantage or it can be a disadvantage because um, if we are like providing the plant some water, it will be good because we will have to provide the water and it will be retained there in order to plant it to absorb the water, and it will be for more time. But in the other case, with the in order that if the place where we have this clayey soil rain too much, then we will have the problems with water that will be bring us some sickness in our crops, and we will have to have money in order to repair all this damage that the too much water made. But also with the fertilizers, it will be an advantage because we will have to apply them in more quantities, and it will be for more longer. The plants will have more time to absorb it, and it will not filter down the level of the plant, right? So I think these are the two more important, like classification of the soil that are really a part of, but they compose all the kind of soils, and we have to make like emphasize on these two topics because are the most important, and the things that we will tell us how to manage our soils and to take some decisions about uh, how many times we will fertilize, how many times we will apply water, how many times we will and on how many of these two we will apply, right? So I think these are the things about this topic. Now we will continue with what happened with water on the soils.
Well, something really important of the relation of soil and water is the factors of soil formation. There exist different factors who are climate, soil profile, soil horizons, soil color, and soil texture that my friend talked already about. So, soil as a filter of water, i- it's something really important to talk about because, for example, if we have uh, permeable soil, it the water gonna filtrate really. It's gonna be really difficult for water to filtrate, and for example, for our crops and different plantations, it's really bad. So, water table is the water who comes upward, and it can cause uh, really big problems. And And for example, rain who comes from upwards to downwards, and it affects a lot the different kinds of soil. So soil structure and porosity. The soil compaction affects a lot in water filtration, like I already said. The water permeability, who is the velocity in which water moves, and the development of soil color. The soil color gonna depends a lot in how much is the quantity that he's gonna have of water, and it's gonna build the organic material and the degree of iron oxidation. So the impermeable layer to we need to we need an impermeable layer to have a water table. And what another aspect really important that the doctor talked about are the sources of underground water contamination. And we can talk about underground water that they are the water table that like I already say it's the water who comes from downwards to upwards. and the aquifers, and they are contaminated, like for example of the excessive use of pesticides and the garbage dumps and the disposal of different liquids that we use in agriculture, and the sewage outlets that into permeable structure. It affects a lot too, and the lack of sewage systems that can move all the soil and can uh, alloy, permitir, alloy to the soil to be more easy for that the water filtrate inside it. Thank you, and this was our video.